goodness. So, the people, when we had the Hogarth thing, they were saying, yeah, Hogarth is, energy's like off the map, and I'm very quiet and sedate. And that's kind of true. I think that Hogarth and Lena are more of the party crowd, going out and enjoying and revelry, etc. And I'm the hermit, okay? I am absolutely the hermit. I'm not one for parties and crowds. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't, and I don't like crowds. I'm not big on crowds. I'm more of a gypsy, a traveler, in the sense that, I'm always wanting to be on the road, on the move. That's just who I am, what I am, keep to myself. I've always kind of been that way. Kind of a loner. Enjoy. I don't miss people, don't miss crowds. I don't have to have I don't have to have people around me to affirm me. I guess you could say it that way. Not that I don't enjoy the people. I really enjoyed meeting everybody. Everybody was so interesting, and I like their stories. I like what's going on with them, and talking with them. But again, I'm more of a loner. I don't have to have a crowd of people around me to make me feel good about myself. I guess you could say it that way. I don't have depression. I don't feel lonely. Now, I used to. I did used to. When I started my path, I had severe depression, extreme PTSD. I was really a mess. Okay. I really had a lot of difficulties in life. But I did the spiritual path, which was very long, 30 years of it, for those that don't know, and came to the point what they call realization, where everything imploded and everything that was there before was as if it never happened, okay? And it's like what the Bible says, being born again, really born again. Not just getting dunked in water and coming up and saying, I'm born again. Yeah, no. I mean, everything from the past was gone, as if it never happened, and it no longer had any kind of a hold on my life anywhere. The mind stilled. Now, when I started, I had the mind revolving with all this stuff going in it, the toxic things that people have, and depression, and why me, and the poor me saga, and all of that drama. But that all went away. It all went away. When I started my path, I wanted to do anything I could to get out of this world. Yeah. It was too painful, okay? Everything was so painful. But then when everything imploded, you found out that what the problem was the mind spin. That's the problem. And now I enjoy the adventure. You go from the drama to what they term the play of God, the play, enjoying the life. Now, not every experience you have is enjoyable, but you get something from it, and you understand that. And that's what we're here for experience, to challenge ourselves, to learn something out of it. There's something you can always get from whatever takes place, okay? So that's why, my life is a bit different. Oh no, those are very odd things. They've got these little buildings. They are like they're like this, but they're really shallow. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. That is very odd. So anyway, that's a little the difference. Yeah, Hogarth. I love Hogarth. I enjoy being with him. It was really a nice thing to be with him and to meet him and enjoy his energy. But yeah, people are right. I'm more of a hermit. I really am a hermit. And I don't, like I said, you know what happens too when you have where everything implodes? And what happens with that was when I sat down to meditate, this great fear engulfed me. And I knew I had done everything that I could, and there was nothing more I could do but to absolutely, totally surrender. And that's what I said. I absolutely surrendered. And on this, on this altar, I lay myself, and God either pulls me through or doesn't, because I couldn't do anything more at that point. It was total surrender. And then everything there was no me, no world, no nothing, just the divine is. That's the only way I can explain the energy that is termed God. And you have this thing that you realize, for God to exist, there has to be something other than that, and there is nothing other than that. It's the energy behind everything in the universe. And so men have created this term God. But everyone, you recognize too, you go to 0 point balance, and you recognize that everybody has the same amount of this God force, you want to call it God force, or the divine is within them. And it's a great leveling field. No one's higher, no one's lower. Okay? People think that if you get to realization, you're going to be, I'm better, I'm greater. No, absolutely not. You realize that everybody has the same amount of this divine is within them. So everyone is equal. Okay? So it's, you become the big zero. That's what I laughed about. You don't become, now the people that have a bit of a glimmer of it and they go back into ego again, then all of a sudden they become, I'm this God person and I'm this, well, they didn't go the whole way, and they had a glimmer, and then they go back and reconstruct the ego and the mind and go off on this tangent of craziness. Okay? Because when it's actually finished, the mind stills. I don't have any active thoughts going. I don't have anything coming in to disturb the silence. It just doesn't exist anymore in my world. Now, I had a lot of people that are, the naysayers, I call them the Advaita police. Well, if you don't have these thoughts, then, you can't live. You can't, well, yeah, you have direct consciousness. Then they go, well, why do you wear makeup? Why do you do that? Well, why not? Why not? Okay? The universe has a sense of humor. Look at the duck-billed platypus, for God's sakes. Look at giraffes. Look at look at zebras. Look at the way, things are. So what do people think? That you're going to sit on a rock and drool on yourself? What? No, you really live life fully, and you enjoy it for what it is. You enjoy the colors, the sounds, the beauty. You enjoy it all. because you know you are part and parcel of all of this. And if you open yourself, you can feel the energy, whether it be plant, person, animal, okay? You become one with that because you all have the same ground of being is what I'll say it is, the ground of being. And I say that the divine is the life of all life and the death of all death. There is no true death. There is just the leaving of this physicality of form, this vehicle. Like we have a vehicle that we drive to get from point A to point B. You get out of your vehicle and you go on to do something else. Get a different vehicle. Same thing with the spirit. It leaves this physical vehicle and goes on to other adventures, other things to learn, other things to explore. So when you've done, for 30 years, I wasn't out partying, I wasn't out doing that. I was doing my introspection, meditation, introspection. Now, when I say meditation, I don't mean that you're always sitting there with your eyes closed and stuff. You have open eye meditation. It's about being present, fully present with whatever you're doing one thing at a time, fully present, and that develops meditation. Okay? Walking meditation, or this communing with nature. It's kind of like Native Americans would go out and they would seek, they would go out and seek their vision quest. It's like that. Okay? It's like the vision quest. You become one with nature. You become one, or you have your totem animal, and you become one with that animal and see from that vision. Okay? See from that understanding and getting everything you can out of that. Now, you can do that with anything. I have one thing that I give people to do, to see yourself as a flower. And I want you to, there's a beautiful little river going down here by the side where I'm at. But see yourself as a flower. What color are you? What type of flower are you? Do you have a scent, no scent? How does it feel? You can do that with anything and explore it. Become a tree, become an animal, and get everything you can from that experience. Become that, okay? And you'll find that you start opening up more and more to the universe. And you can do this with anything. How does it feel to be a mountain? How does it feel to be a tree? That's where I started my journey, was communing with nature, okay? And seeing the trees give life, and they give shelter, and they give all these things, I became that. And you see that, okay? And you can explore it. How does it feel to be a big oak versus a pine? They have a different sensibility, okay? They have a different sense of beingness. They have a different experience. So again, you can do this with anything in nature. Or in the morning, you have the ritual of making your coffee. You have many different rituals, things that you do. And if you do it one thing at a time with full intention, full attention, it can become a meditation. If you're walking, feel the ground under your feet. Okay, get everything that you can from that experience. Okay. So this is another reason I love this. Like, I can feel right now where I'm going through these pines. It's uplifting. I feel this joy in the heart center. Now I just went through a place that they'd had a fire, the trees were all bare. It was a totally different experience of that. I'm feeling absolutely tears that come, that loss and that the things that had gone through there. Yeah. But with the ones that are here now, this enlivened feeling of them. So that's it. I guess we really went off on a tangent here. When I go to speak, sometimes I don't know what's going to come out. I did not start out this video to put this out there, but some reason these things come forward and it's for somebody out there. It should hopefully benefit somebody out there that is doing their spiritual path. And it doesn't matter what path you do, okay? I started out in an esoteric Christian order, okay? Becoming a minister. Yeah, I started out in an esoteric Christian order. And that's when I went down for prayers that night. Father Blighton laid hands on my head, and I had that, what we call the infilling, I guess, the Holy Spirit. It was the Kundalini, and it awakened, and I was nailed to the floor. I could feel an absolute 4 to 5 inches of gold light just envelop my being. And literally, I was there like a cross. I was just boom. And I started seeing auras. At that point, I went into a samadhi state for about 3 days. If I would have walked in and got hit by a car and died, it wouldn't have mattered at that point. I was in this bliss state of a samadhi. I had no idea what it was at that time, but it had opened everything up, and that was really the start of the journey. Okay, that was the start of the journey. And so it was a 35-year journey to that completion point. And it wasn't easy, because it feels like a time that I was going to burn up. You have to face every fear. All these fearful things come up for you to navigate. You have to find out that fear, you don't fear it, you don't fight it, you don't love it, you just see it and let it come and not give it any emotional drama to it, and then it dissipates. It dissipates. But as long as you're fearing it and you're giving it emotional drama, whether you're trying to love it, fight it, doesn't matter. Whatever you're trying to do with it, you need to not give it anything to feed it. And when it doesn't have a hold on you, it can't feed off of you, because that's what it does. The negative things feed off of fear. They feed off of the drama. If you're not giving that to them, then it dissipates. Okay? It needs to have fear. It needs to have that emotional stuff to feed off of. Okay? And that's how the shadow works. They plant a seed. They plant a seed of division. They plant a seed of fear. They plant a seed of lack. They plant a seed. Okay? And if that grows, then they have a hold on you. So don't give them that hold. Know that at the center of the universe is the divine is. Okay? Now, we have free will. We can go into fear mode all we want. Okay? You could go into that dark space, or you can go into that joy and that light and understanding that this is abundant. It's the life of all life and the death of all death. It is the divine is. It is powerful, and it has that, this, everything that will ever come into being is already there. It's already there. Okay? So there's so much with this, that to be said. But again, it doesn't matter which path you go. If you go Christian path, if you go Hindu path, you go Muslim path, that's just different scenery along the way. But there's only one end point. Okay? There's only one divine is. And when people are doing their thing, they want to make it relatable to the transient is what it is. They want to make it relatable to the transient. And the problem is, like you see in the Bible, the Old Testament, that they try to make God in the image of man, not men in the image of God. They want to say, oh, he's a jealous God, he's this, he's that. And then Yeshua ben Joseph came to dispel that. Okay? But they want to cling to the old thing of, oh no, God is like us. Okay? God is jealous. God is vengeful. God is, and none of that is true. Absolutely none of it. Okay? None of that is true whatsoever. So yeah, maybe I should leave this here. Maybe this is a little overkill for some people. You just try to give whatever you can give. Unfortunately, most people want to gain something. They want to gain power. They want to be able to control. And it's the other way. You need to get in the boat, float downstream, and trust the universe, rather than trying to control the universe, trying to control things. You need to go with the flow of it and work with it, rather than trying to dominate it. That's the difficulty. People want to dominate it under their will, under their ideations. And that's what we see with these Christian nationalists. They want to dominate everybody according to their viewpoint of ego. Okay? They're not getting rid of ego. They just want to affirm ego and go into these just really negativity. They're fear-based, and they're, it's about domination. It's about power. It's not of the light at all. It's a path of the dark path of ego. Okay? So yeah, on that note, I'll just leave that here. I'll leave that here. I'm sorry if it's overkill for some people, but and I don't talk about this very often. The spiritual path and where it leads to. Okay, if you are a serious seeker, it can lead to absolute freedom. Like Christ said, first thing he said, fear not. Don't have fear. Fear not. Okay, well, there's a reason he says that, because fear is what controls people. Okay, fear is what controls. When you don't have fear and you trust the universe and you know the divine is in the heart of everything, then again, you have a whole different perception. First thing I tell my students is live from honesty, integrity, transparency, sacredness. If you see life as sacred, how is that going to change things for you? If you live in honesty, with integrity, again, no little white lies. There is no lie that's going to save you, that's going to make things better. Okay? And transparency. Okay, what is it you need to hide? If there's something you need to hide, then it's something that needs to be changed. Okay, that's something to change. So honesty, integrity, transparency, sacredness, so important. The only thing you take with you when you leave this life is your integrity. You don't take your wealth, your power, your drama. None of that goes with you. The only thing you can take is your integrity and how you've lived your life, if you've lived it to the best that you can. Because all of that will be revealed the minute you leave the form. You will see all your interactions with others. You'll feel their pain. You'll feel their sorrow. If you have caused those types of things, that's what I mean. There is karma. Ones like Trump that have done these things, he's going to have to experience all these things that he put people through. He will feel every one of their emotions. Okay? They don't get out of everything. They may appear to get out of it while in life, but they don't get out of it. They have to feel absolutely everything. And if you understand karma, you're not going to do things that are going to come back on you. Okay, you won't. You won't. You can't. And another thing that happens when everything implodes, you can never hate. You can't hate. Now, you can really not like what somebody's done, okay? But you don't hate. That emotion is gone. It's absolutely gone. You can't have that. You can feel pain, you can feel sorrow, you can feel that, but hate, it goes. Okay? It goes. And there is that feeling of compassion that's there. Empathy. Now, in a way, I have compassion for Trump because imagine being in that mindset where you're so low on the totem pole that you have to brag that you are the best, that you're trying to convince yourself, you're trying to convince others. Because deep down, you know you're lacking. He's got a horrible space that he lives in. His mind is constantly going. Okay? He lives in a hell realm. Really. He lives in a hell realm. He's got a wife he's got to pay to be with him. Okay? And he's so fearful about everything that he doesn't trust anyone. Okay? He lives in a hell realm. His mind is a hell realm. And it's I'll just leave that here. I'll leave that here. I know a lot of people don't want to have any kind of compassion for him or anything, but you understand he's driven to do what he does. He can't. He's got no joy in his life. He's got no beauty. He's got no joy. He's always like a caged animal that's fighting for its life at every second. Yeah, that's what's going on with him, like a caged animal. And he's got to get others before they get him. Paranoia, just feeling of lack. I'm sure his daddy told him that you're worthless, okay? Because he was not successful, okay? He was not successful. And he doesn't know how to be successful. He thinks successful is money. Money, power, being an ogre, being he's got no no type of a life of one moment of peace, one moment of satisfaction, one moment of beauty. He lives in a cesspool of mind spin. Okay? And when he leaves the physical form, it's going to be 10 times worse than when he was on earth, because, like I said, he has to feel every emotion, every pain that he put people through. So yeah, I guess, how many times have I said I was done with this? We're going to end it here, and more is coming out. Oh, universe.
In about 10 miles, turn right onto Paseo del Pueblo Sur.
So I guess the universe is done now, you know, with what's coming out. And hopefully this has helped somebody along the way somewhere with some understanding of things and stuff. You know, I don't hate Trump. Like I said, that I feel very sorry for him. Really, truly very sorry, because I know he lives in a hell realm. That doesn't mean that you know, I want to see him become president or anything like that. Absolutely not. He's toxic. He's absolutely toxic. We cannot have him as president again. But I know that in his mind, he is, like I said, living in a hell realm, a toxic cesspool that he can't get out of. He's got no understanding of how to get out of it. He cannot understand people that are in joy, that are in light, that are in trust, that are in love. He doesn't have it in his life. He's never had love in his life. He's never had anything of that nature, because he's too fearful. Okay? He's too feeling in lack. He never had it growing up, and he doesn't know how to open. He's too fearful to open up to anything. It's always about protecting himself. Okay? So, universe, are we done? Can I end this now? I think we're done, finally. Oh, Lord. I just go with the flow. That's it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you online. Let me know if you've enjoyed this talk or not. You know, I don't want to browbeat people. If it's for you, great. If it's not, then just, you know, turn it off, and it's not for you at this time. Okay? So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you online.